Touche Beauty is a company that I started last year and launched a new professional skincare line in April of 2010. And it's an addendum line that is sold to dermatologists, plastic surgeons, and skin therapists worldwide. And so we're growing by leaps and bounds, and it's been a lot of fun empowering women to bring out their inner beauty and really go to what the core is of feeling beautiful, feeling strong. We also have a foundation, the Schumann Legacy Foundation, dedicated to helping girls aging out of foster care. We feel that they need to have more options because with options and resources, good decisions can be made. And so we really are struggling to help break that cycle of bad decisions to help more young women become strong and empowered women. Today, there's a lot more opportunities for women than there were in the past. You always kind of get wedged into certain areas or written off because being a woman. And I think that happens less and less. And the more women that surge forward and the more women that are in positions of making decisions and showing what we've got, I'm finding that there's a lot more open minds and reception to women coming up and really kind of striking out and doing their thing. This is the perfect event to sponsor because it is about showcasing strong women. In many cases, women that have come through very hard times and have been victorious and have shown their power. And by sharing these stories and bringing this forward, we can maybe empower and inspire young women to also step into their power and to become strong and giving women in this society.
The idea for Baby Abuelita was born on a bus ride in 2004. I was chaperoning a field trip with my daughter's middle school dance teacher. She was first-generation Cuban-American, and she was sharing with me the fact that she felt like she was losing her musical culture. She was forgetting the lyrics to sing to her kids. She wanted to write a children's book with that music. And somehow I visualized grandparents singing those songs to their grandchildren. I'm also first-generation American. I'm not Hispanic, but I grew up in a household where my parents spoke Yiddish and didn't teach my brothers and me. So I could really relate to feeling like you're losing your culture. And within a year's time, we had put together a team of artists and designers and business people, and we sold our first dolls a year later at Cuban Nostalgia in Miami. And it was a huge success, and it was really, it was really very exciting.
Arroz con leche se quiere casar con una viudita de la capital que sepa coser, que sepa bordar, que ponga la aguja en su delantal.
At the time, I was a practicing psychotherapist. I had a very successful practice. I'd been in the community for many years. And this was really my first adventure into the purely business side of the street. And one of the things I had learned from my years of experience is the importance of networking, is the importance of really reaching out to other people in the business community, particularly women's organizations, because they're designed to help women, to support each other. And it's a place to go to get the skills that you don't have, to find the talent that you need. The other thing I would say that I think is really important is if you have good communication and good writing skills, I think that is essential to creating a solid foundation for whatever project you want to take to market, whether it's a service or a product. That, the ability to communicate with people, the ability to identify talent, the ability to know what you need, I think those are critical elements in being successful.
The business started technically in 2004. When I was working at a PR firm. I just had a list of friends in my email, and they would ask me for things. Soon after I had my first child, they would ask me, can you help me find a housekeeper? Can you help me find a nanny? Can you help me find whatever it was? I just started sending out emails for friends, connecting them with each other to find resources in emails. And finally, a friend told me about an e-newsletter program, and I started using one and realized, oh my goodness, look at this, I can put images, and if I can put images, I can run ads, and there's my business model. Our subscribers come from all over Miami-Dade County. Most of them are parents. They're educated and they're professional These are people who are family friendly. They're pretty conservative. It's a conservative publication. They're people who are just looking to help each other find resources, or they're looking for something on their own. I would recommend being creative. Jump out of the box, and that's what we did. Not only did we jump out of the box, I also used the resources of really smart people around me with the full intent of paying it forward, which I do whenever I can. Talk to people who know more than I do about things that I don't know. It took me a while to get there because I had a couple other jobs along the way and had children and all that. I was busy, but we got it done.
We began in 1988, and we started because my children were growing up. They didn't need me so much anymore. I had been very fortunate to be a stay-at-home mom, which I thought was just a wonderful opportunity because my husband had a good job, I was able to stay at home and raise our daughters. And I knew that I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I went back to school at FIU and got a degree in hospitality management. And I loved having parties at my house. All the time that my children were growing up and that I was a stay-at-home mom, we had parties. And then I found out you could get paid to have parties. So I stopped having parties at home and started having parties that I got paid for, and I thought this was really cool. I had never planned to start my own business. It's just that I did. It was just a wacky thing that I decided to do. And so I went straight to Vizcaya, which is a beautiful venue for parties. I said, would you put me on your list for caterers? I hadn't planned to be a caterer. And Vizcaya said, what's the name of your company? And I knew that the list was alphabetical. So I said, A. Joy Wallace, Catering. That was all I knew, but it put me on the top of the list. So everybody thought I was the best caterer on the list. They didn't notice it was alphabetical. I got a phone call, and it was from someone who was where I had been working that said a large company was looking for me. And they said, we want you to cater an event for us. And I said, well, I'm not working where I was working before. And they said, we know, but we want you to do it. And so I said, well, let me check my schedule, because I had taken a class one time that said you should never be too available. So I said, let me check my schedule. And so I put them on hold, and I held I didn't even know how long to hold. I was so nervous. And I said, okay. I picked the phone back up. They had given me the date, and I said, yes, I'm available. And it was for a huge event. So they said, oh, good. If we send you a deposit for $42,000, will you hold the date for me? And I said, oh, yes, I'll work it into my schedule. So that's how I started. I truly believe that God took care of me, and I traded a family of 2 daughters to a whole business full of women and men that I care about. And that's what's kept us in business for 23 years.